Hello, today we are going to learn more about personal pronouns. What? Well, actually, some of these are personal pronouns. One of them isn't, but still, we're talking about pronouns. Did you know there was so much to know about pronouns? Who knew? Okay. We are going to be practicing using the words they, them, it, and it. What? It and it 2 times? Well, okay, let's see how this thing goes. All right, so remember, last week, we learned that personal pronouns are really great when we've talked about somebody or a group of somebodies in a sentence, and then later we don't want to say the name again because maybe it's too long or it just sounds repetitive. Like, if you're writing, for example, let's just say you're writing about your sister, and your sister's name is Maria, and you say, Maria likes to cook, Maria likes to paint, Maria is my sister, Maria is my best friend, Maria likes to ride her bike. Like, do you hear how that just sounds like that's a lot of Marias? So you could say she or her or things like that. That's the beauty of a pronoun. So we're going to look at that specifically today. This first sentence says, the children visit Pappy. Oh, they're peppy. They're going to go see their Pappy. All right, so we're talking about the children. Those are our group of people that we're talking about that went to go see their Pappy. And is there another way we could talk about the children without saying the children? Because you can see that's 2 words. That's the and then children. Is there a shorter way we could do it where we say something, write a story with Pappy? Exactly. That's exactly right. So we could say they write a story with Pappy. And do you see how the children and they mean the same thing in these 2 sentences, because we've talked about the children already. So the children visit Pappy. And if we were writing a story about the children and their Pappy, it would sound repetitive to say the children visit Pappy. The children write a story with Pappy. The children eat lunch with Pappy. The children, you see, it's just like, blah, 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 blah. We don't want that. Okay, so pronouns, we changed the children to they. All right, number 2, the story is funny. The story is funny that they're writing about the children and their Pappy. The story, I don't know why there's a period there. That's very confusing to me. It shouldn't be. That's a mistake, just so you know. The story has a dancing robot. That does sound like a pretty funny story. I would love to see a robot dancing. In fact, I would like a robot to give me dancing lessons. Is there such a thing? So instead of saying the story is funny, the story has a dancing robot, what could we say instead? Would we say they has a dancing robot? That literally makes no sense. Them has a dancing robot? No, because the story is not a person, right? It's a thing. And remember, our nouns are people, places, and things, and pronouns replace nouns. That's confusing. So like, my name is Miss Pennicuff, and I can replace my name with her or she. Those are the personal pronouns I could use instead. So what would I say here? This isn't a person. The story is not a person. So what would I say instead? Ha 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 ha. It has a dancing robot. So the story is an it. It's not a girl or a boy, right? It's an it. The stories aren't girls or boys. They're not people. They're things, aren't they? So the story is funny. It has a dancing robot. And see how nice that sounds? That just kind of flows. It's not incorrect to say the story has a dancing robot. It just sounds too much like the sentence before it. We want to make our sentences sound a little bit different when we do great writing. All right, number 3, Pappy loves the children's story. Okay, so this has 2 changes that we can make to Pappy loves the children's story. All right, so let's see, we have to change 2 things here. He reads the story to the children. Okay, so we know the children are people, right? Yeah. And the story, is it a person? No. So where our story is going to be it, and our children are going to be, and we don't know if the children are girls or boys, and it doesn't really matter. So we don't say her or him or she, because a group of people is a they or them or a we. right? He reads the story to the children. Yeah, he reads it to they. He reads it to, yeah, them. Oh, we changed so much. Watch how long this sentence is when we don't use a pronoun. Do you see how long that is? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. Watch what happens when we use a pronoun instead. He reads it to them. Now we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes our writing pretty efficient. On this page, we have a continuation of the same sentences that we had before about the kids that were writing the story about the dancing robot for their pappy. All right, so in this one, we're going to keep hearing about what happens with that story. So number 1 says the boys finish the story. So which one of these pronouns would we use? And remember, the word finish is a verb. So that could give you a hint. Do we use they before a verb or them before a verb? Let's try them out. They finish the story, them finish the story, or it finished the story. That just sounds funny, doesn't it? Yeah, we could change the boys to they, couldn't we? They finished the story. Now on this line right here, we already know we're talking about the boys, so we could use one of our pronouns, couldn't we? So the boys finished the story, blank read the story to Mammy. Who reads the story to their Mammy? Yeah, they do, exactly. So they read the story to Mammy. So they is always used before a verb. And you'll see we're going to use them after a verb. Those are some tricky rules to remember, I will tell you that. Those are really tricky pronoun rules. All right, number 2, the boys make a book. All right, so is a book a person? Nope. A book is a thing, which means it's not going to be a they or a them. It's going to be a, yes, it's going to be an it. The boys make a book. The boys draw pictures for, yes, for it. The boys draw pictures for it. I want to see their dancing robot. I really do. Maybe we should draw pictures of dancing robots at the end. All right. Mammy is proud of the children. All right. And then she hugs. All right. So are the children people? For sure. So they're not an it. She's not going to say she hugs it unless she was hugging the book, which I guess she could because it sounds like a marvelous book that they wrote. Or would she say she hugs they? So hugs is a verb because that's something we can do with our bodies. We can hug somebody. So we're going to use the word them because it comes after the verb. Okay? Like I said, these are really tricky pronoun rules.